I've got two partners that are involved in this, Mike McCall and John Stanford. This happened really quick for me. I've been watching KCOH for probably longer than most of you have been born. When I came here in 1975, Michael Harris and Ralph Cooper were the first blacks to come up to us as writers, and we made sure that they had a spot so they could ask their questions. So we go back a long way. I'd always told them if something happened to the station, and I've known Mike Patrizio for 30-some years, and he would always come to the games. And if anything happened to the station, let me know. And I knew people, then we could put together a deal and help buy it or do whatever we needed to do, because it was such a factor in the black community here in Houston, Texas. It ended up happening. I read it in the paper, as most of you did, but it was sold. And I'm sitting there, and the first thing I did, I got on the phone and called Ralph Cooper, and I said, Ralph, what's going on? I said, you didn't call me. I said, what's going on? It's being sold, and it's not going to be a black station anymore? And he says, no, it's not going to be. And that's when I went into motion. I called, I talked to Sheila, who has been a friend for 30-some years, I guess. And I said, what can I do? I said, I know people, we can get together money. How much is it? How much are we talking about? So I ended up having Mike McCall call me. We talked, ended up meeting with him and John Stanford that night. And this was right before Thanksgiving. So it wasn't a big time frame that we had to put all this stuff together. So we worked diligently. I mean, we did everything we needed to do, contacted John Saunders, and went about the process. And we thought we were doing pretty well. He had told me about the other deals, the 1230 station, and I said, we don't want the 1230 station because that's not KCOH. KCOH has been 1430 ever since I've been here, and that's from 1975. So we wanted the station, and we would fix it up, we would do what we needed to do, and to make it larger. I wanted to make sure that the minorities had a voice, Hispanic and black or whoever, they had a voice in the community. Because if it goes away, then all you have is the other stations, and you never get to say anything. So that was our main key of getting this deal together. We worked diligently. Sheila, I mean, I ran up my cell phone bill, and I was in Mexico on a vacation with my wife. I mean, talking to Mike and John, I spent $700 just talking on the phone in a week. And so we were trying to make sure we had our ducks in a row and we could make a good offer. I made an offer to John Saunders and also Tom Patrizio, and they knew it. It was an offer. It was not in writing, but they understood what we were talking about. And it was more than what they were getting for. So I'm putting out, most of you know me, I don't beat around the bush, and I'm going to tell you the truth how it went down. My partners have been trying to buy this station since 2009, and their offers have been turned down. I came into the point we got for our group, and I mean, it's an offer. I'm a businessman. I thought we could make money in this station, but also we could save it and have it grow. It's large. So that's how it came about. The last time we sent him a letter saying that we were capable from our bank, Spirit of Texas Bank, and I don't know how many people around here can call their banker and get them on the phone. I can. And so we put together a deal. We had them send a letter to the Patrizio group, the partners, and that letter was sent. We did not, he said they would respond back. They did not respond back. And then they said something was going to happen Friday, and that's exactly what happened today. So it's not like we didn't do that and we didn't do it really quick. I don't know how many people can put together that much money that quick. We did it. And so here we are now. Certain things have happened, and I know most of you here in the press and stuff, you know the difference between 1,000 watts and 5,000 watts. I mean, it's simple. You're not going to be heard that much. And if somebody's telling you that's wrong, then you tell me, because I don't know anything there. But we've done everything we can to make sure that KCOH stays the same, because you need a voice. If you don't have a voice, then you become nothing. And We fought a long time. So questions or whatever, but that's what we've done. We have still not heard back from them even to turn down our offer. We haven't even heard a turn down yet. So there's other things involved. If they're going to go on and do what they're going to do, that's fine with us. But we were trying to help and help the community, and that's all.
Before we take questions, let me just finish on what Enos has said. He's right. We are here to be of help. And I'm so glad that he reminded the press. I don't know if you spend time listening to KCOH, but people from all backgrounds call the station and are able to be on the station. And they are from all ethnic, racial backgrounds. It gives a unique opportunity for people in the African American community to be heard. But no one is turned away. And when I hear Ralph Cooper talking about sports, he's talking about everybody. He's talking about high schools from everywhere. And that's evident at his all-star basketball tournament when I went to visit with him, seeing middle school boys that were Anglo, Hispanic, African American, and Asian playing basketball, generated out of his sports commitment, but again, his presence on KCOH. So with that, I think as a member of Congress, what I want to conclude with is that I've heard nothing to say that Enos' offer with his partners has been turned down, no response. We don't know what will come over the next couple of weeks, but I would hope that this offer would stand ready and that negotiations could still continue. When you're in a lease posture, and I say that meaning lease, you're leasing something, there is still an opportunity. It is so valuable to keep those call letters and KCOH together at the wattage that it is. And in essence, we'll be operating under the present circumstances out of a lease of the equipment of a 1230 license, and I guess ultimately use 1430 at some point, or the call letters at some point. But that is not the KCOH as we know it. So those of us who have filed in these proceedings will be waiting on the Commission's answer. Legislatively, we see that KCOH represents a poster child for change legislation for the Federal Communications Commission. And if it is not KCOH, just look at the numbers, how much we have lost in the media market for minorities, period, to be able to own television stations and to be able to own radio stations, both AM and FM. If I have a cause, if I'm a representative, then I've got to represent those who are unspoken and unheard. I cannot imagine that that is good, not only for our community, but as a member of the United States Congress, we have to look at what is good for America. That diversity of opinion lost is not good if we do not have it spread from every part of America, from sea to shining sea. That's what Enos and his partners were attempting to do. If it was anyone else with that offer who was legitimate, I'd be standing alongside of them if they reached out. And as Enos said, he joined with all due speed, but an offer of this type had been around for months into the spring. And so as the article came out, particularly when those of us who had referred a number of people just expected that one of those offers would be accepted, I want to get rid of the Johnny-come-lately perspective. This is not a Johnny-come-lately. It was that we allowed business people to do business things. And therefore, it was my intent to do that, and we'll continue to do that. But as we allowed business persons to do business things, we expected that the many who had offered would be one of the purchasers. As it became clear that that was not the case, and that the format was going to be lost forever for a station that had been founded before the Brown versus Topeka case. Come on, community. And Houston, you have to understand what that history is all about. Then there had to be a cause. So the urgency of this caused this combination to come together in a unique offer, and if you will, I won't, as they say, because it looks like it doesn't exist. I think you can see bank up here. So, and a unique, ready to go. I think that that is commendable, and I think the story should be told in the way that we've given it, in a way of harmony and peace, reconciliation. We are ready to go, and the documentation on the national crisis of the loss of ownership should move our community forward to attempt to buy, and to own it, and to keep it. We'll take questions at this time.
Good morning, Congresswoman and Mr. Cabell. Can you tell us when the Spirit of Texas Bank letter was sent, how much you were offering, if it was all cash, and some details about that?
Yeah, the letter went out 2 days ago. 2 days ago. It was all cash, but I can't tell you how much it is. But it was all cash. It was from the bank.
And it's greater than the existing offer on the
Yes,
table?
ma'am.
The owners had agreed to already sell the station to Lockwood Mason Foundation and agreed to do that. Why were they continuing negotiations with you if they didn't have good faith to seek to sell the station?
Well, what it was if both parties agreed to break, then they could accept another deal.
Both parties meaning?
Both the
Lockwood
Hispanic
Mesa
group
and
and also the KCOH group. If both of them broke and agreed, then they could sell to somebody else.
Is there a penalty for that break?
No, it was not a penalty. We were going to pay money for them to break up.
And I would like to just you could put on a congressional hat again without the make it very clear that this was no attempt to interfere with a contractual relationship. No, the monies had not exchanged, so that had not occurred. There was a signed document, but the process included escrow resources. That's totally different. So it wasn't that anyone was out of any huge amount, and that's why it was appropriate to be in discussions.
Did you have offers up earlier this year too? When you were referring to Spain, there were offers?
My partners did.
Your partners.
I came in right after I saw the article in the Chronicle saying that it was being sold. And it kind of made me mad because I said this is something that's been there for years, and all of a sudden, boom, it's gone. And if you realize what happens after that, then your voice is just totally gone. I understand it's going to go to another station, 12:30, but it's not 14:30. I mean, I worked on that station for a while too, so it's a difference. 12:30 and 14:30, it is a difference, and also the wattage is different. And most of you people that are in the press and also media, you know it's a difference between a 1,000-watt station and a 5,000-watt station.
In the negotiations with John Saunders, the broker, tell us about the discussions that were actually being made. Were they serious about seeking to make a deal, or do you feel at this time, based on the announcement this morning from Tom Patrice on KCOH, that